As fans of the show know, Harry Potter is a hit series that ran from 2001 to 2011. The series was based on novels by J.K. Rowling. Watching the show, we see that there are several conflicts that could have been avoided if things were just slightly different. So what are 10 of the most needless conflicts in Harry Potter? Watch this video to the end to find out on the 10 most needless conflicts in Harry Potter. Firstly, we have some of the contentions between Dumbledore and Grindelwald. The fate of the Fantastic Beasts films is still up in the air. However, with the end of The Secrets of Dumbledore, it wouldn't be a leap to leave the plot involving Albus Dumbledore and Gellert Grindelwald as it is. Because Dumbledore defeated the Dark Wizard in Harry Potter, spectators already know how their long-running fight is concluded. As a result, there isn't much to entice audiences to see another movie, given the lack of mystery around their connection and the poor reception of the most recent installments. Any good story must have a compelling, engaging conflict. There were a few heated exchanges in the Harry Potter series, even if Dumbledore and Grindelwald may not have much of a conflict anymore. However, in some of these instances, the disputes may have been avoided thanks to a serious misunderstanding or a party's ignorant or unreasonable behavior. Conflict between characters like Neville, Ron, Sirius, or Snape in Harry's story would have been entirely avoided if only one or two things had gone differently.
What you're doing is madness. There's nothing you can do to stop me.
The second unnecessary conflict on the list was between Neville and the Golden Trio.
You're sneaking out again, aren't you? Now, Neville, listen.
Neville's character in Harry Potter immediately shows a preference for Harry, Ron, and Hermione after his introduction. He only received words of encouragement from them. Therefore, in the book, he made an effort to repay them by getting up in the middle of the night to tell them that Draco was going to get them into trouble. Unfortunately, Neville was discovered and was led to believe that Harry and the others deliberately misled him about the existence of a dragon in order to manipulate him. This finally led to them attempting to leave Gryffindor Tower to defend the Philosopher's Stone, which spurred Neville to oppose them. All of this could have been averted if Harry had only taken the time a few weeks earlier to clarify the situation and inform Neville of what had occurred with Norbert. Next one was between Sirius and Harry in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
But Daddy can't cut it off so that everyone would think he was dead.
Harry thinks that Sirius Black has come to Hogwarts to kill him throughout Prisoner of Azkaban. Harry was prepared to battle the alleged Dark Wizard to the death when he eventually encountered him because of this, along with the fact that he believed Sirius was accountable for the deaths of his parents. Naturally, there had been a misunderstanding throughout, and all Sirius had to do to ease the tension was reveal the truth. But Sirius was too preoccupied with his task to seek retribution. Instead, he only expressed his desire to murder him while saying nothing to make it clear that he meant Peter Pettigrew, not Harry. Fourth on the list is the conflict between Harry and Ron in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Yeah, that's me. Ron Weasley, Harry Potter's stupid friend.
Ron Weasley, the youngest son in his family, was eager to establish his worth. This affected his bond with Harry because he felt more eclipsed by his best buddy than by his accomplished older brothers. Even so, Ron was fully aware of Harry's awful circumstances, so it shouldn't have been so difficult to accept that someone entered his name in the Goblet of Fire. As Hermione noted, this was primarily motivated by jealousy rather than faith. But if Ron had just dealt with these emotions years before, Harry wouldn't have had to get ready for the first job without his friend. The next one is between Ron and Hermione in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
You spoiled everything! What's this about?
In Harry Potter, Ron had some of his toughest arguments with Hermione because Ron was never particularly good at communicating his emotions. At the Yule Ball, Ron first realized that he didn't like how he felt when he saw his pal dance with his idol, Viktor Krum. That's when it all began. It wasn't fair for Ron to be upset over Hermione's decisions when he had admitted that he had hardly ever realized that Hermione was a girl before he began looking for a date to the ball. Ron could have spared everyone, including Harry, a lot of pain if he had only shown a little more emotional maturity or self-reflection. We are now halfway through this list. Stay with us. Sixth on the list is the conflict between Barty Crouch and Barty Crouch Jr. in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Hello, Father.
You are no son of mine.
Barty Crouch's connection with his son was never fully explored in the Harry Potter films, although it was far more in-depth in the books. Readers discovered that after Crouch Jr. was sent to Azkaban, his sick mother persuaded Crouch to assist her in using the Polyjuice potion to substitute her son's body, which ultimately freed him. However, despite his newfound freedom, Barty Crouch Jr. was not much different from how he had been in Azkaban. The anguish he endured while under the Imperious Curse's influence became so intolerable that he eventually broke free of his father's grip and fled his father's father's mansion. Crouch Sr. and his kid may have had a positive relationship outcome if he had only exhibited empathy and love. Instead, patricide served as its resolution. 7th on the list, we have Harry's conflict with absolutely everyone in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. In Order of the Phoenix, when the headmaster felt it would be best to completely avoid Harry and Dumbledore's relationship reached its most turbulent point in the Harry Potter series. The boy who lived naturally felt angry and alone, and as a result, he vented his rage on anybody and everyone nearby. Because of this, Harry's 5th year at Hogwarts is frequently regarded as his most difficult, even though it was never his fault. A boy who was ready to make poor decisions was as a result of Dumbledore's icy behavior. Harry's friends' damaged feelings were terrible enough, but his worst decision ultimately led to Sirius Black's passing due to Dumbledore's lack of communication. The conflict between Sirius and Harry in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix is next on the list. In the Harry Potter films, Sirius and Harry usually got along well, but in the novels, Sirius's increasing impatience led to a few disagreements with Harry. For an active wizard like Sirius, being confined to his dark childhood home wasn't nice, and when Harry refused to help him escape, he even began to loathe his godson. When Harry went to Hogwarts after the holidays and told Sirius he didn't want to risk going with him to King's Cross, everything came to a head. Because of his rage, Sirius informed Harry that he wasn't as much like James as he had believed. Unfortunately, Harry would not see Sirius again while he was still alive. Even Dumbledore acknowledged that the fight and even Sirius' death would not have been necessary if he hadn't made Sirius stay inside at Grummold Place. Next one was between Snape and Dumbledore in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Albus Dumbledore knew or could have reasonably predicted most of the plots that surrounded Harry's life, according to the conclusion of the Harry Potter series. For years, he had a sneaking suspicion that Harry would eventually have to make the ultimate sacrifice, but he kept it to himself, without fully describing his plans. Dumbledore instructed his followers, especially Snape, to carry out his instructions. Snape, who is exemplified in Harry Potter by his lack of patience, eventually became too frustrated to continue without knowing the end goal. This resulted in a confrontation between the two in Order of the Phoenix, during which Snape declared that Dumbledore had taken advantage of him and that he no longer wanted to carry out these actions. The headmaster eventually told the truth at this point, although a lot of conflict could have been averted if he had done so earlier with the person he claimed to trust. Last on the list was between Ron and Harry in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. In Deathly Hallows, Ron gradually develops a hatred towards Harry due to the strain of Slytherin's locket. He would feel better when he took the necklace off, but the trio alternated who would wear Voldemort's shattered soul each day, so there was never enough of a break. Ron came to his senses once he was completely away from the gang. Harry's insistence that someone always wear the Horcrux never seemed to make much sense, though. In truth, Harry knew that coming too close to a Horcrux might be dangerously harmful from Dumbledore's experience with the ring and Jenny's ownership of the diary. Therefore, his decision was extremely unwise. After all, if it had been the cup, he probably wouldn't have expected anyone to wear it. It simply needed to be stored in a secure location. We have now come to the end of this video. Did you notice any of the above avoidable conflicts when you saw the show? Let us know via the comment section, as well as other shows you would like us to feature. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel, and thank you for watching.